Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Stalli111 and welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be talking about Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord. So, last weekend there was the PC Gamer Weekender, which showcased a lot of games that the PC Gamer community was really excited for. One of which was taleworlds Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord, as most of you guys should know. They live streamed about 35 minutes of gameplay on a laptop, and I missed it. I missed it being live because I was traveling, and well, I was just really annoyed that I missed it, and it was that weekend and not another weekend that I could have actually seen it. So that's a bit irritating. But anyway, I've seen it now. I have really enjoyed it, and I'm really looking forward to the game. So today I'm going to be having a little bit of an analysis of the gameplay showcase that we saw at the Weekender. So I'm going to be running through a few things and giving my thoughts on them. I'm not going to be reviewing it, or in other words, I'm just going to be telling you what was shown off and all that jazz. So I'm going to start off with the basics, the main menu. So it's pretty similar to what we've seen in previous games like Warband and previous Mount & Blade games. But I do have to say, I love the background, like the Lord with the banner, the Bannerlord. It may not be too dynamic or anything, but it is definitely an improvement over a still image like in previous Mount & Blade games. We have the same sort of stuff on the actual menu though. We've seen in previous games like options or custom battle, new game, load, option. I've already said option. You get the gist. It should be on screen anyway. Alright, so to the thing you want to see, the gameplay, the actual gameplay, not just the menu. Taleworlds were showing off the gameplay as you were a lord of the Britannian faction, who are they're inspired by, they've got a Celtic or a Pictish influence, as we sort of already know, and I've previously mentioned in my faction video, I'm pretty sure. Also, for those who aren't aware, they are the green coloured people on the overworld, so the green settlements, the green units, just so you know. It has been completely confirmed by the developers that each faction's starting areas, like starting towns and whatnot at the start of the game, will show different architecture of each faction. And the different buildings will be like of different style. So, for instance, if you take over an imperial town from the Calradian Empire, it'll probably have a Roman-inspired set of buildings within its centre, because I'm pretty sure the Calradian Empire is either Roman-inspired, as in the Holy Roman Empire, or the Italian Roman Empire, based in that. Anyway. We do get to see inside a Britannian tavern during the gameplay, which has loads of awesome little details like pelts on the walls, stone walls, and what looks like a thatched roof, which is all sort of Celtic themed. They also spoke about something that I have already mentioned in a previous video, that each faction or culture will have different board games and mini games in these sort of types of buildings, like taverns, pubs, or communal areas in each area. I'm not sure if they're going to be different for different cultures. Like, they might have a culture that doesn't drink alcohol, but they have a communal area that people come together, they talk, blah blah blah. That maybe will be the area that they have their mini games or their board games. So, combat, right? So, some of you guys have said that I'm wrong in saying the Mount & Blade combat is quite clunky, and I'm sorry, but I stand by it. However, I'm only really talking about the OG Mount & Blade. After seeing the Bannerlord in action again with a proper live fight, rather than just like a scripted fight that we've seen in a trailer. It might not be scripted, but it's a trailer. It's implied to be scripted. It looks epic. I mean, I love Warband, but Bannerlord has certainly stepped up massively on the animations, and it looks like it actually flows quite well with the fighting. The stances are all pretty cool, and we're showing a few little fights actually, but there's directional combat and blocking to make it more difficult to master, but also allow for a more like varied playstyle. Like, so you can have different combat styles. You could be very defensive and like strike, like be quite smart about your moves. Like in Kingdom Come Deliverance, you got to be very smart with what you're fighting with. But you could block a lot of attacks and then like use the directional blocking to make sure that you don't get hit. And then when like the enemy's guard is down, you can just strike them, something like that. But yeah, we are shown a battle with some Battanian companions against some bandits. I think it was 4 against 7. Well, the character shown, he was outnumbered at least, but it was easily won. So this shows how you as a lord or your character can really change the battle if you have some skill with your weaponry and you know how to use your weapon. So that shows that they're still focusing on Mount and Blade, the combat system being quite skill based, rather than just click, 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 and hope for the best. Which, earlier on, when I originally played the game, that was my playstyle. Anyway, I personally don't want to talk too much about the character creation, as I spoke about it in a previous video, but we aren't showing too much new things here in this gameplay, but they did show it off, like them customizing it live and some presets of some well-known figures. I believe Albert Einstein and some other actors and all that jazz were shown off again, which I've heard lots of people talking about. But we've seen all that before with Benedict Cumberbatch and Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator. But all I want to say is the wide variety you will be able to create, create your character with, is pretty awesome. You could probably create any celebrity that you want, to be honest. It's very, very varied, but Mount & Blade has been known to have a great character creator. The previous Mount & Blade games were really good with this because, like, you could, well, I created an abomination character that looked really mutated just for a laugh, and I think I could really create a true abomination in the Bannerlord character creator. My hopes and dreams for the cities and towns have come true. By that I mean, like, you can walk around massive areas which actually like have lively settlements. Like, the settlement actually feels alive. It has children playing, market stalls, people selling stuff, people just going out for walks with their better half or whatever. It feels like a real medieval town, medieval-like town. So obviously it's pseudo medieval, pseudo fantasy, pseudo historical, I guess. But yeah, it does feel alive, and I'm really glad for that. You're also in towns. I'm not sure about other areas. You could send them off, but you are able to, in towns, get your companions to like do some recruiting, so they could go around in the town and gather any men that are willing to fight for you. So that saves you the bother of doing it yourself, allowing you to spend your time doing other things. I don't know, like getting drunk and beating up people in the tavern, or playing, I don't know, a board game. Well, we need to find out what other options we have in the town. You could send off one of your companions to recruit people while you go to the market and buy some new weapons or armor or horses or whatever. But yeah, that's certainly an option there. It looks very cool, the companion option, and I think that could be useful. Moving on to weapon crafting. It's another thing that they've shown off more, but they've also shown quite a bit already in the Gamescom video. We got to see the whole process of, well, pretty much all the process of creating a weapon, and there honestly looks like there's going to be thousands of variations you could do for a sword, or any weapon for that matter. You could change a hilt, or the actual blade, the curvature, the size, the length, blah blah blah. You can do a lot of stuff. It does look pretty awesome, and I can certainly say I can finally create the Stallinator to strike my foes down when I'm on a bandit raid. But yeah, and when you're creating it, you can see the stats changing, showing what makes your weapon more to your style. Like, maybe you want to be able to swipe it faster, it's lighter, but also keep like a good balance of how much damage it's going to do to your opponents or whatever. But as you could guess, the better it is, the pricier the parts to craft it are. So you better save up your pennies before you craft your bandit sling tool. Right, so you guys are probably as hyped as I am about the actual proper battles between like small armies. And they are pretty good in Mount and Blade. That's kind of the gimmick, or not really a gimmick, but that's the thing that gets people into Mount and Blade. They've got the massive battles that you can take part in, you can lead the charge in. And, well, Bannerlord looks pretty good. This showed us a small army line up and have a wee charge. There was archers, there was, I think, a group of infantry units, and obviously cavalry as well. So like in Warband, you are able to command certain types of infantry to certain points to also do like specific tactics or maneuvers to try and like draw your enemies out, because in Bannerlord, there's the lords you're facing against have a better AI in battles. They will try and outmaneuver you, they will try and find your weak points, and they showed it in the actual game. They tried to pull out the cavalry with the archers in the gameplay, but I'm not sure if it worked to the way that they wanted it. But it shows that you can actually do any sort of tactics you think could work, and you will face the consequences if they don't. So there's that. It looked pretty chaotic. Like there's death everywhere. There's just a whole like circle of people like hacking at each other with their swords and shields and axes and spears and all that jazz. And then there's archers like at the back, or it was weird. Like it was pretty awesome at the same time. Like it felt like it could actually be what real battles were like, I guess. But we shall see how that develops. I honestly can't wait to charge into battle with my brothers in arms, and I think I'll spend a lot of time creating custom battles as well. There is the custom battles thing at the main menu that you could probably do more with the custom battles that you could do in likes of Warband, which was a little bit limited, but hopefully Bannerlord improves on that. There's also a tactical board or something like that you can view, which is sort of similar to what you get in online play. I think the button is tab. It's in most games that you can see like a leaderboard, but it's similar to that. You can see like the status of some soldiers, how many soldiers or units you've got still alive or wounded or whatever. It was used to keep an eye on the opposing lord's condition to see if he'd been killed amongst the chaos or he'd slipped out when you had your back turned, and that could be useful for trying to make sure if you want to target him, you want to like capture him, keep him alive, and maybe use him to get some money or whatever to help your party. You can do that. You can keep an eye on his condition if he's dead or he's alive. But yeah, that's a lot of the details shown off in the gameplay. Something I do want to see more of is the settlement development as a lord. So you can like see a wide variety of options to expand your settlement, make it bigger, make it have more people, maybe some customization you can create, like expand your borders a bit, so maybe more people come to your town and live in your town, and then you've got more people wanting to fight for you, blah blah blah, more taxes if you're the lord of that town, etc. I don't want to just have farms and farms and farms and endless farms. I want to be able to expand it out, maybe have not slums as such, but like an outer like lower class town like they had in real history, that they had a castle and then an outer like wooden rough village. That would be really cool to see. But obviously Bannerlord, there's still loads of details to come, and taleworlds are, I think they're really pushing Mount and Blade. I mean, it's been quite a long time since it's been in development, since it was announced and all that jazz, but we shall see what comes of it. And I know there is a lot more details that I could have said, but I think that should be enough for you guys who didn't see it, and also who did. I've given a little bit of my opinions on the things shown and what I want to see. It wasn't loads, but I've been ranting on, and I wanted to make this a casual video that I didn't need to like properly script or anything like that, blah blah blah. And I've probably said a few things that I've said a couple of times, but sorry for that. I've just been a bit tight for time, and I'm really annoyed with myself not being able to see it live and seeing other people's reactions, fellow Mount and Blade fans, just because I was travelling at the time. And I'm sorry that this has been like nearly a week since it was. It's not quite, but it's a few days after, and I'm a few days late. But hopefully there's a few guys out there. I mean, I know there's a few guys out there who want to see my thoughts on it. So I hope you guys enjoy. But yeah, I am super stoked for the game and the next update or showcase, which is going to be heavily focused on sieges. So hell yeah to that. I cannot wait, and it's going to be absolutely epic. I really look forward to seeing that, and I hope you guys are too. Hope you guys enjoyed this little rundown. I know it's been a bit longer than expected, I think. Like 15-16 minutes. Too long, in my opinion. Should have kept it shorter, but I spoke about most of the stuff, so hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure to drop a like, drop a comment, and subscribe if you've not done so already, and I'll see you guys on another video. Peace off.